Omaha was its own wrestling territory in the 60s, and that's where Mad Dog Vachon got his first run with the AWA title when the AWA championship out of Minneapolis, Vern Gagne's, was different and separate from the AWA championship in Omaha. And Mad Dog Vachon in the 60s got a run with the Omaha AWA title that was so successful it led to him getting the run with the real championship later in the 60s that was recognized all over Vern Gagne's territory. The first time that I ever actually appeared or was involved with Omaha wrestling was in the late 90s with the WWF. And I remember that the hotel that we stayed in had wonderful room service and an incredible lobster bisque. But more importantly than that, Omaha was a great wrestling city in the 60s. As I said, it was part of the AWA out of Minneapolis, Vern Gagne's AWA, but it was different in terms of the champion there was recognized and was different than the AWA championship in Minneapolis. And they had sometimes different talent, but Mad Dog Vachon, that was his proving ground, that he had a great run with that title and drew well, which enabled him to get the real one. And then they folded it together in the 70s, and Omaha was one of the main cities of the AWA, under Vern Gagne. So, I don't know what specifically of which our questioner speaks of, but Omaha in the 60s and 70s was a major wrestling town. And then it unfortunately, with the decline of the AWA in general, and then the emergence of the WWF, it kind of, it went away. It was one of the first territories that went away. So, I don't know what he's talking about specifically there, but I know that Omaha was an important city for wrestling for quite a period of time, and then became one of the regular AWA cities. And then after the early 80s kind of went under until the WWF would visit there every once in a while. And then it was just part of the, normal circuit. But Omaha wrestling, it was big. They didn't draw huge crowds. There were no stadium shows, no ballpark shows, but they drew, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people regularly, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever, for, a couple of decades. And it was a big deal back in those days.